Hey there guys, Darkbirder, welcome back for more Fate Stay Night. In the last one. The last one was when we had all the technical difficulties. Also, if you're noticing that I have a different mic, it's because I decided to go back to using my blue snowball for this, just because I actually want to, be able to hear the audio so I can enjoy it more. So hopefully it's not, too much worse than my usual quality. But in the last one, I think we just came back to school again. Yeah. I'm really hoping... I know I keep saying this and I've been a little negative in this early bit, but it's been going on for a while. I'm like, I just really hope we can get to where, we start making, important choices, or choices that'll actually, change things. Granted, these choices could be changing things, and I just don't know it yet. But I also want to, get to, where the servants come in and the story starts going somewhere faster. Granted, from what I've heard, it doesn't really pick up the pace, but hopefully the story actually starts sometime soon. With that being said, let's just jump into it. It's lunchtime. Our school has a splendid cafeteria and most students eat there, but there are some old-fashioned students who bring their own lunches. Two of them happen to be me and the student council president in front of me. Emiya, could you give me some of that fried chicken? My lunch is desperately lacking in meat. Sure. Why is your lunch so plain? You live in a temple, but there aren't any teachings prohibiting meat or alcohol, right? Such an anachronism? It's just my father's way. He says there's no luxurious foods for a young priest, and that I should have to work for what I want. I'm thinking of running away and joining the circus. Oh yeah? That sounds like that guy. Issei's father is the priest of Ryudo Temple, and a bold guy who's old friends with the old man at Fujini's place. You can't expect a normal personality when he's friends with a guy like that. That's great. Well then, I'll give you one in hopes of repayment someday. I handed my lunchbox. Thank you. This too is part of my religious training. Issei bows deeply. How can I put this? I never know what to say when things like this remind me that he's the son of the priest. Oh, by the way, Emiya, did you know that there was something going around on the 2nd Avenue? It's right around the intersection where we part. Intersection. The intersection this morning. He must be in that clamor with all the police cars. I heard there was a murder. I don't know about the details of the family, but of the family of 4, only the child survived. They say the older sister and the parents were stabbed to death. But what's strange is that they think the weapon was a long one, not like a knife or something. So is Lancer just going around murking people for, no reason? I don't know, I feel like based off of Ku, granted, I was gonna say, based off of what I know of, Ku, he doesn't really seem to be, the type of guy who would do that. But as I was saying that, I remembered how, everything that happens later, but, whatever, A long weapon. He must mean something like a sword. It was a murder, so that must mean the sister and the parents were killed, unless they're trying to imply it was a sword. I pictured it, someone barging in during the night. Unjust violence, a one-sided pillage like an accident. Slashed parents. The sister killed without even knowing what's going on. To the side, the child covered in their blood. Issei, have they caught the murderer? It doesn't seem like it. Accidents from faulty construction in Shinto and murder here. It's no wonder they're making the curfew here at school. What's wrong, Emiya? Did you choke on something? Nothing. What's wrong? No, I was just surprised since you had a nasty expression. Sorry, this wasn't something I should have talked about during lunch. Issei tries to soften the air apologetically. I was fine with the topic, but was I really making such a nasty face? And then, there's a quiet knock at the door. Excuse me, is Ryudo here, like Ryudo Temple? Huh? Oh, what is it, Sensei? Issei addresses Kuzuki, who just entered. It must be a simple talk about the student council, as Issei seems pretty relaxed. Wow, that's not something you see every day. Despite his appearance, Issei is very shy. The guy who draws a line against his classmates and even his teachers is letting his guard down with Kuzuki. Maybe they get along so well because they're both so serious. Suichiro, the teacher in charge of Class 2A, is serious and stubborn. Probably that aspect helped him to get along with Issei, who prizes order and discipline. The two continue to talk. All the while, I can't get the story of the murder out of my head. Classes end and it's time to go home. I cannot go anywhere as I've worked today. I should leave school and go straight to the neighboring town. But... I'm worried about the conversation I had this morning, so I made my way to the Archery Club before I knew it. Jeez, what am I doing? According to Mitsuzuri, Tosaka Rin comes here often. Well, I don't really care about that, but I know that Shinji getting angry at her is going to be a problem. Shinji just doesn't stop when he gets angry. It's bad if Shinji gets violent, just because she turned him down. I don't know why it's bad, it's just bad. It makes me feel bad just thinking about it, so I have to stop it from happening. Oh, Tosaka's not here. Tosaka isn't around. Mitsuzuri's worries were needless. Oh, who's not here? I spin around. Oh, it's Issei. So, who's not here? And there's Issei, whom I just left behind. Oh, it's you, Issei. Don't scare me like that. Well, you were looking at the dojo suspiciously. So who's not there? Tosaka. I heard that she had an argument with Shinji yesterday, so I came to see how things were. Oh, wow. That is suspicious. You gave your reasons without being asked. I only asked who wasn't here. What? Why? Shouldn't it concern you? Yes, that's right. But it's useless, Emiya. Tosaka won't be here. That's because she intentionally skipped school today. What? Skipped school? So she was absent today? I see. She's absent. Wait, Issei, how can you say she skipped school? I don't think she'd do such a thing. Of course she will. She won't catch a cold. As I see it, she's evil. You'll be eaten if you let her looks deceive you, Emiya. Somehow Issei's words annoy me. It's true that I don't know her, but I can't imagine that she's a bad person. You're going too far, Issei. Tosaka can't be like that. What, you're after Tosaka too? Oh, I'm sorry. Please ignore what I just said. After Tosaka? Who said anything like that? Don't jump to conclusions. I just thought it'd be bad if Shinji got in trouble again. So you were planning to stop Shinji if he attacked Tosaka, huh? You're playing an unrewarded role again. I don't really care, but you have a bad taste, Emiya. It's not unrewarded since I haven't done it. But Issei, didn't you say something strange? Huh? You mean that going after Tosaka is in bad taste? Yeah, Tosaka's really popular. I haven't heard any bad rumors about her. Yes, none. That's exactly what I don't like about it. Issei looks away, snorting. What don't you like about it? Everything. The woman is a fox, a schoolgirl, a monster. I just don't like her physiologically. I couldn't tell if that was physiologically or psychologically. Listen, I feel like whenever I start recording these, my reading level goes down by at least 10 grades, so I'll use that as my excuse. I won't say anything bad, but you should try to hate her too. I like his little blushies, he's cute. Issei, don't you always say we shouldn't talk badly of people behind their backs? Idiot, this doesn't count as talking behind their backs. I'm speaking so that she can hear it. Ah, no wonder I feel someone's eyes from the archery dojo. Thank God. I'm so glad Tosaka is absent today. Please, Issei, please restrict yourself to talking behind people's backs. Alright, if you say so. But I wasn't insulting her at all. I was only saying that I'm on guard against her. That should be within my rights. We were saying things like monster and fox. And I think the term schoolgirl is discrimination. No, that was just praise. There are good foxes and monsters too. I don't apply the terms to describe Tosaka. Katsu. Issei laughs. Well, I'll be going. I'm going back to the student council room. You're going to work, right? You shouldn't have time to play around like this. He must feel refreshed now that he's said everything he wanted to, and as he leaves calmly. I know him for 2 years now, but I still don't understand his personality. "20 minutes after taking the bus from my school, I arrive at the neighboring town of Shinto across the bridge. Oh, it's not 5 o'clock yet? I guess I still have some time. Do I get to make a choice on what I want to do? I want to take a drink of water bottle. That's my choice." Delicioso. Miyama City is a residential district, so it's hard to find part-time jobs there, but the developing Shinto has many available. The school rules allow for part-time jobs, so I work a few easy ones. Within them, I prefer hard physical labor that ends as quickly as possible. It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone, as it builds my body while I get paid for it. Today's job is a simple loading job from 5 to 8 o'clock. Even though it's only 3 hours, there's 6 hours worth of work to do, that make you run around without a minute's rest. So I should rest when I can, even if it's just for 10 minutes. It's a waste of energy walking around until my job, so I guess I'll rest in the park. This park among the buildings is like a big field. A park should be filled with people like families and lovers on weekends, but it's empty here now. No, this place is always desolate. This place is the same as always. I'm a bit sad. The utterly neglected ground looks awful compared to the neatly organized surroundings. The desolate area makes the wind feel cold. This is the rains of conflagration 10 years ago, and this place is where I was saved from burning to death. I wonder why they don't plant grass here. It's a waste to keep it like this. It's a large area, so they retiled it. The park would get bigger. Thinking absent-mindedly, I sit down on a bench. I stare at the burned land to pass the time. I don't remember what happened here back then. I probably don't remember because I was a kid, and it wouldn't have been an easy scene to memorize. All I can remember is that it was hot, and I couldn't breathe, and that people died trying to save others. I wonder why. For an example, an adult that tried to save a child from a burning house. He saved the child but died in its place. For example, there were people who had their throats burned, but they gave what little water they had to one guy, and the others died. For example, there was someone who ran alone to get away from a fire as fast as possible, and everybody they passed on the way died. And for example, people who died because they gave something that was saving them, only to save others that didn't even know. Man, that sounds like some weird examples to give for later context. Also, I feel like I say vague things like that because I feel like I'm trying to avoid spoilers for people who haven't read this before or don't know too much about Fate. But I also haven't read this. I've only watched UBW, the anime, Heaven's Feel, and that's it from the Stay Night era, I guess. That's all I've seen is the anime. So I have no idea anything about the context of not necessarily the context of this, but I don't know anything about the Fate route, you know? I didn't like things like that. It makes me mad that those who tried hard were sacrificed. Am I greedy to want an ending where everybody is safe and happy? All I wanted was to see people relax peacefully, so why couldn't I manage such a simple thing? That's difficult. What you want is to save everyone. Kiritsugu answered so to the question I asked as a child. Of course, as a child, I denied it. Because Kiritsugu saved me, I knew he was a sorcerer who couldn't do anything. I knew he was a superhero who couldn't ignore people in need, who saved them for no benefit. So I believed Kiritsugu could have saved everyone back then. When I told him that, he made a troubled expression and said something that I can remember to this day. Shiro, saving one person means not saving another. Look, a superhero can only save the people he has saved. It's obvious, that is the definition of the superhero. I understand that. It's obvious now that he said it. Let's say there was a robber and some hostages, and the robber intends to kill the hostages. With normal methods, most of the hostages will be killed. Even if you use a miraculous method to save all the hostages, there will still be one person who isn't saved. That, of course, is the robber whose hostages were rescued. The people a superhero saves are only those he decides to save. That's why even God cannot save everyone. All the more so if it was a natural disaster, no one could have saved everyone. The fire 10 years ago was like that. It's not something I, who was miraculously saved from it, can talk about now. But I don't want that. I don't want such a thing. I don't want to help. I don't want help that has limited capacity. You want to help no matter how impossible it is. I can't stand to have strangers dying around me like that back then. So, if I had been there 10 years ago, even if it was impossible, I would have gone to that fire and I would have certainly died in vain. That's for certain. Jeez, I'm hopeless. Yeah, it's already 5 o'clock. The 5 o'clock bell rings. I stand up and quickly make my way to work. When my job's done, the sun has already set. It's a bit before 8. I finished 10 minutes early because I worked too hard. It seems I worked frantically since I went to that place before work. Here in front of the station, the night's just getting started. There are lots of people and a constant flow of cars on the road. The buildings are still lit up, and just looking at them makes me feel like I'm watching grand festivals of illumination. I guess I don't have to buy anything for Fujini. I walk while looking up at the lighted building. It's the biggest building in Shinto, so I can't see the top too clearly. I just gaze up the building, just enjoying the night scenery. When I think I see something out of place... What was that? I stop and stare at the rooftop. I focus my eyes looking at the thing as small as a grain of rice. Yo, that's a good image, my dude. Oh, dude, I found the thumbnail already. What the? It looks like someone I know. Why is she there? I had a mini panic attack because I looked over at OBS because I'm super paranoid about it not recording. And I saw that there was no audio, so I was like, oh no, it's not recording. And then I was like, oh wait, I can hear it now, so I know that there's no audio playing at this moment. Haha. Why is she there? What would she be doing there? With her long hair fluttering and doing nothing, she looks down at the town. It doesn't seem like she notices me down here. No, there's no way she could see me. She's so high up that I, with better eyesight than most, can barely see her by improving my vision with magical energy. I didn't know he could do that, but that explains, like, mystic eyes. I can recognize her since she's standing there alone, but there's no way she would notice me down here among all these people. She's just looking down at the town. Maybe she's looking for something as I can feel her sharp eyes stare even down here. I forget about time and keep looking up at the girl standing in the sky. She is on top of a tall tower. She's like a witch, that's irony, looking down at the earth with the moon behind her. Oh? And then she must be done with whatever she's doing as she disappears. Her figure has disappeared and the scene returns to the beautiful view of the night. That was Tosaka, right? I have no proof, but I think I'm right. There aren't many girls with looks that stand out that much. And more than that, I'm not stupid enough to mistake a girl I secretly admire. I see, but still. Well, it's... Tosaka has strange hobbies. That's a weird way to put it. I mean, I guess from your perspective it's like, why is she standing up there like that? But I don't know. I wouldn't assume it's a hobby. Unlike Shinto, there's no one in Miyama City. After 8 o'clock, there are no people around, and the town is terribly quiet. At the junction is the house I saw this morning. There's no sign of people, and the door has a do not enter sign. After only a day, the house is as quiet as an abandoned building. Parents and older sisters killed by the burglar. What kind of life remains for the child left behind? I bite my lip, feeling powerless. Even after swearing to become like Kiritsugu, I can't do anything about something that happened so close by. Even though I want to help someone, in the end, I don't even know what I can do. I climbed the hill and reached the Emu House. The lights are still on, so Sakura or Fujini must still be there. I'm home. Oh, it's just you, Fujini. Hmm? Oh, welcome home, Shiro. I forgot what voice I did for her. Fujini turns around munching on a rice cracker. The TV shows a loud variety show. Geez, coming home at a time like this again. I told you to come home early since it gets dark early in the winter. I am home early. I'm taking a part-time job that finishes at 8. So don't be so unreasonable. So, where's Sakura? It looks like dinner's ready, but... Sakura-chan went home early. She said she had something to do today, so she just cooked dinner and left. Fujini says so happily. As far as she's concerned, anyone who cooks for her is a good person. I see. That might be a good idea for a while. It's been dangerous recently. So maybe I should just cook dinner for myself until then. Until next term. What? I protest. You come home so late, Shiro. If you don't cook after that, we won't eat until after 10. Hold on, can't you just eat at home? What? I am at home. Fujine seems puzzled. Honestly, I'm not sure if that makes me happy or sad. Alright, I understand. I can't exactly expect you to cook for yourself, can I? Anyways, what's that thing by your feet? Don't tell me you've been picking up junk again. Fujini has a terrible habit of leaving junk at my place. Large bowls from restaurants, a heavy teapot she got in the shopping district, a strange guitar that plays by itself. What? I think she thinks of this place as some kind of warehouse. Let me see. I'll throw it away if it's junk. This? It's a poster that was left over at my place. Fujini hands me the poster. It's probably some infamous idol or something. Let's see. Here we have a military-style guy with his thumbs up on a cheap-looking blue sky background. In letters like blood it reads, "Love's lovely Rangerland. Please join the self-defense force." Hold on, this is an army recruiting poster. I don't want it, so you can have it. Well, I don't want this either. I roll up the poster and hit Fujini with it. Hehe, missed. But Fujini deflects my attack with the poster she had hidden and counterattacks mercilessly. Bam! The poster lightly knocks my... Gah! Stars! I saw stars! Don't imagine you can hit me with your skills. You need to practice more. That's not the problem. What was that? Why does a poster make a crash like that? Could this be the skill of a master? Huh? Oh, sorry. This poster is a special first edition made from steel plate. Shiro, is your head all right? Fujini, your pet personality is gonna kill someone one day. I'm not worried. Shiro would marry me if that happened. Huh? What the I'm not worried. Your personality will kill someone someday. I'm not worried. Shiro would marry me if that... What the freak does that line mean? Okay. Huh? I completely refuse. I have no intention of marrying such a thoughtless killer. Hey! I don't think I'm that dangerous of a... You just attacked someone with a steel plate pole. I knew it. So it's true that people never know themselves. How true, how true. Well, that's ironic. I'll have to watch out, or I'll be killed. Huh? Just keep saying that. Anyways, I'm hungry. Shiro, I waited all this time, so let's have dinner. Fujini stands up. How strange. Fujini is helping out, even if it's only setting up the dishes. She must be really hungry. Okay, then you can get the dishes out. You can pour rice, right? I can. Hey, Shiro, can I use a bowl? I guess so. Sakura isn't here today, so there'll be some left over anyway. Alright, I'll use the same for you then. Fujine pours rice into 2 bowls. Oh well, I was gonna have seconds anyway. Besides, if I argue with Fujini, she'll take my dinner away. And to add, chaotic dinners like this have common scenes for many years now. The day ends. Finishing a rowdy dinner and seeing Fujini off, I take a bath. After that, I practice my daily routine in the shed. I complete it as usual and go to sleep. It is 1 in the morning. The day ends peacefully without any troubles. It is at the end of the day. Okay, I think that this is actually when the servant things start happening, since I I'm just assuming. Also, there are some things in there that implied it, but I don't want to spoil things, so I won't say. With that being said, I'm gonna end the episode here. So I will see you guys in the next one. Again, even if it's not in the next episode, it's gonna be within this day. I'm willing to bet on it being in this day that we get to the servants. I should have paid more attention to the days passing and Reen's part, but I'm big dumb, as you've probably noticed so far. But yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.